look, we're back, Honolulu, baby. And that song's gonna be stuck in your head for at least a week after watching this movie. Now we're finally there, and the Laurel and Hardy reviews. This is for Sons of the Desert. This movie is absolutely brilliant. I was asked in the comments a couple of days back in one of the last uploads that I did for Laurel and Hardy what my favourite Laurel and Hardy movie was, and honestly, I'm a huge fan of all their movies, and I like all of them for one reason or another. But I did say, I replied in the comment, it was a toss-up between the Music Box and Sons of the Desert. So here we are, quick review on Sons of the Desert. Now, I'm not going to get too detailed with it, because this one here definitely does have to be ingested by your own eyeball sockets. Really enjoy it, really appreciate it. Essentially the story is Stan and Ollie are members of a group called Sons of the Desert, who are going to have a convention in Chicago, and the movie begins at one of their meetings at the lodge, and they're made to take an oath that they'll attend the convention. And it's one of these ones where, you know, the fear of the waves sets in. Stanley is scared to death of taking the oath in case his wife won't let him go, and Oliver is playing the part of the husband that, you know, I do what I want when I want, and I tell the wife once I've done it. You know, stop being so scared, walk in and tell your wife you're going. So they get home. Stanley ends up having to spend a couple of hours in Oliver's house because he locked himself out. His wife isn't there when they get home, and Oliver's not even going to bother telling the wife about the convention, but Stanley lets slip that the lodge are having this big convention in Chicago the following week, and they're going to it, and the wife does not take it well, and there's a major falling out between the two of them. So Oliver comes up with the idea that he's going to play sick. He's going to let on he's got like a nervous breakdown. He gets Stanley to go out, get a doctor, and, you know, get the doctor to tell him that he needs to go to Honolulu for his nerves, knowing that his wife is scared of the water. She doesn't want to go on boats. That's not her thing, but it's just an excuse so that, you know, the doctor says, turns up at the house, the only thing up he can do is go to Honolulu, you know, good open air, ocean, wind and air, and you'll just, you know, get a recharge of the batteries. And Stanley is supposed to be playing along with him, but it's all sorted out. He manages to get away with that part of it, and the wife says, you know, you need to go on this trip. Maybe Stanley will go with you, and Stanley's like, I can't go with him. I asked my wife if I go to the convention, and she said I could. So Oliver's like, you know, I'm not going on this on my own, sort of thing. You know, if I have to go alone, Stanley's going with me. I'm getting a little bit too detailed about this here, so I'm going to kind of just bounce off a few points in the rest of this here. Basically, they get away with their story that they're going to Honolulu. They don't bother. They disappear off to Chicago for the convention, have a great time. But before they get home again, the wives discover on the news that the ship that was going to Honolulu is sinking in a storm. Stan and Ollie don't know this. The wives at this point, they're off trying to find out any information from the shipping company. They find out it'll be the next day before a list of the survivors comes through. While this is happening, Stan and Ollie have gotten back to the house, and they're playing a song at the door to serenade their wives. You know, look, we're back, Honolulu, baby. Now that song's gonna be stuck in your head for at least a week after watching this movie. But obviously the wives aren't there. They get into the house. Oliver sees the headline in the newspaper that the boat that they were meant to be on in Honolulu is sinking. So panic sets in. What are we going to do? Oliver's like, we'll sneak out, we'll go to a hotel, spend the night, in the morning we'll come back home. And just the lies are getting deeper and deeper at this point. But as they're trying to leave the house, the waves are returning. So they end up having to take shelter in the attic of the houses. Now I'm kind of going to cut it right a bit there, because it's how and when they're going to get found out at this point. And yes, unknown to them while they're in the attic, the wives have left the house again. They've decided to go to the cinema to watch a movie to try and take their minds off things. But before the movie starts, there's a newsreel pops up on the screen about the Sons of the Desert and their Chicago trip, and it shows the parade coming down the main street, and Oliver's wife is in bits. She's in tears in the middle of the cinema, and she's like, I really wish I had let him go. Look how much fun these guys were having here. And Stanley's wife's trying to talk her down. It's like, you know, maybe it's not as bad as we think it is. And on the cinema screen, large as life, during the parade, you see Stan and Ollie dancing down the middle of the street with umbrellas over their shoulders, having a great time. The wives lose the head, and Oliver's wife swears revenge on both of them. And by the end of the movie, there's a disagreement between the two wives, that, you know, Oliver's wife is like, you know, both of them are liars, one's as bad as the other. Stanley's wife is like, if it comes down to it and I ask Stanley, Stanley will tell the truth, which plays into a flipping brilliant end to this movie. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of cut up there, guys. I give you more information than I really wanted to give you in this movie, but it's one of these ones that is just, you know, anything I say is not going to do it justice whatsoever. This is really one that you're going to have to watch yourself, and trust me, you are not going to be, you know, that's so good. I'm telling you, you're going to love every second of this movie. I wasn't even, in all honesty, whenever I was just sitting down earlier tonight, I had to catch up on a couple of videos to get filmed, and I wasn't even going to watch Sons of the Desert, because I can't, like, I know it front to back, inside out. Love this movie. This is one I've seen easily hundreds of times. But as I was just about to start recording earlier on, I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to sit and watch it again. It's that good.